health issues that, I mean, I was gluten-free, but my kids had some issues that my son decided at age 13 that he was completely gluten-free, and he could care less who teases him at school. He goes to camps and things, and he just brings his own gluten-free bread, and he feels so much better now. He can't put his finger on it. He has some attention problems and some mental fog and some stuff that he really he feels great on. He's a great little athlete, and I think it just was his decision. Courtney, we take the gluten-free, offering at the back too, and that was big because she didn't want the white bread anymore. So, yes. There's the question was, is there a good gluten-free bread to recommend? There's Udi's and there's Rudy's, and those are gluten-free products you can get at Sprouts and some of the health food places. We do more, and certainly, Laura has in her cookbook, some gluten-free recipes and such in there. What I do personally, I cook with a lot of, I'll make banana bread, or I'll make spice bread or something, and I'll use almond flour. Almond flour is a great substitute. The breading on, some people, they just miss that breading. You want to bread your chicken, you want to bread your fish. So we grind up flax seeds, or we just buy some flax meal, and we add some quinoa flour to it, and you mix that up, and you add a little bit of spice to it, like some garlic salt or some parsley, and that is now your breaded topping that you would buy, the little container of the breadcrumbs. It goes on just like the breadcrumbs, and that my kids love it, and they said this is the best flavor, of the meal that we just kind of remade gluten-free. And so, you can get around a lot of that. If you have a white sauce that you want to make, I use rice flour, because you just, instead of the cornstarch or you're trying to make a roux, to make your sauce, you use that as your flour instead of white flour. So always things, around. I'm not a big nutritionist, but, I have had to learn how to cook this way for my kids and for myself. And I think it just gets easier and easier as you just make this as a lifestyle change. So, yeah. Well, the kind of a big, I think sometimes there's just so many allergens that your whole body is so burdened that you need to rely on some other healthcare professionals to decrease that through acupuncture. And, I know that we have the acupuncturist here, who does some of that therapy too. It's sort of like you want to decrease the toxic burden and the inflammatory burden right now, but then you still have to heal up everything else and pay attention to a good diet, because some things you're always going to have a problem with. Some things you're just always going to have a milk allergy, you're always going to have a wheat allergy, and unless you figure that out, it is going to come back, because you're not going to just put yourself in a bubble and say, I'm cured. This is, I work on this daily to be well. And you just can't say, all right, the so-and-so person did acupuncture and I'm wiped clean and I have a clean slate of no allergies, because it will eventually come back if you don't have an anti-inflammatory diet. Okay? All right. Yes? The person that I went to was Matt Chalmers. He's a chiropractor. There are lots of people that do that. I had to detox from all the surgical sites and the port site and the scars from all my neck and back surgeries because there was a local detox that I had to do. And then it was sort of like peeling back layers of an onion. First you have to do that, and then you have to rebuild the organs, give micronutrition to the organs, because you can't start detoxing stuff out when you haven't put good nutrition in, because you have to have the vitamins and minerals and be sound enough, to handle it. I lost 20 or so pounds on purpose in the last year because of total change in diet and paleo diet. But I didn't do that before because I couldn't handle it before, because your fat stores those toxins, it stores that chemo. And as soon as I started letting loose of some of that fat, oh man, some of that chemo just started circulating, and then I was having detox reactions, and then it was clogging up my gallbladder and my liver, and then I had to process that out. So it was all part of the journey to get well. It was just, you had to deal with the process. Right, so things like activated charcoal, are very helpful on those detox days when you're feeling that way. Magnesium sulfate, which is like Epsom salt baths, are great because it basically donates magnesium and sulfate to the detox pathways just by soaking in the bathtub. But you need to be working with a practitioner who can detox, because you will get sick and it'll just circulate and then resettle, and you don't want it to do that either. Yeah. So thank you everyone for coming. If you have any individual questions, just feel free. And always, on the way out, look at the back, and thank you everybody.